Hello, lone wolves. You're standing in the middle of a packed nightclub. The bass pulses through your chest like a second heartbeat. Strangers shout half-heard conversations over pounding music, and bodies move in a sort of choreographed chaos. Everyone around you seems to be fully immersed, laughing, dancing, acting like they're living their best lives. But you feel nothing. Just a slow creep of mental exhaustion and a quiet countdown ticking in your mind until you can politely disappear without drawing too much attention. That tension, that subtle disconnect between what society says you should enjoy and what you actually feel, isn't random. It could mean you share a quiet kinship with Sigma males, a rare type of man who moves through the world on his own terms, unbothered by the hollow pageantry of mainstream culture. This isn't about being antisocial or joyless. It's about selective engagement, a quiet resistance to performance modern life often demands. The pressure to pretend crowded parties are fun, the obligation to chase viral trends, the expectation to broadcast your life for likes and validation. Where most people lean into the noise, Sigma males pause and ask the deeper questions. They dissect the illusion and wonder, is this moment truly meaningful, or are we all pretending it is because we're told to? This kind of introspection isn't rooted in bitterness or cynicism. It's simply a refusal to confuse popularity with genuine fulfillment. Unlike alpha males who thrive on social dominance or beta males who conform to social structures, Sigma males exist outside the hierarchy altogether. They are the observers, watching, analyzing, rarely absorbed in the spectacle. They are the solo travelers, finding meaning in solitude rather than collective noise. And they are the quiet rebels, eschewing trends and embracing passions that might be considered weird or niche by others. To a Sigma male, a nightclub might feel like sensory torture, but a silent midnight walk under dim city lights, that sparks a sense of peace and quiet contentment. In this deep dive exploration, we'll examine 8 things Sigma males can't stand, popular cultural phenomena that they quietly reject. From chaotic amusement parks to the curated spectacle of Instagram-worthy dining, each reveals a deeper clash in values. If you've ever nodded along to group plans while secretly dreading them, or questioned why must-do activities feel oddly hollow, this might feel like someone finally put your unspoken thoughts into words. 1. Nightclubs, the theater of forced revelry. Nightclubs sell the illusion of freedom. Strobe lights slice through artificial haze, while the bass vibrates up from the floor into your ribs. Bartenders juggle liquor bottles like circus performers. Society claims this is where memories are made, where strangers connect over shouted conversations and tequila shots supposedly erase stress. But to the Sigma male, clubs are temples of performative hedonism. The dance floor isn't really about self-expression. It's about being seen expressing. Every hip sway, every exaggerated hair flip, every carefully posed cocktail sip, each becomes a mating call or a status signal. Conversations, if you can call them that, quickly deteriorate into lip-reading games and shallow exchanges like, "What do you do?" followed by forced smiles and polite nods. Even the music, meticulously engineered to stimulate, feels oppressive after a short time. It's a relentless onslaught of synthetic loops and auto-tuned choruses designed to keep people moving without thinking. What exhausts Sigma males isn't the noise itself, it's the social contract that comes with it. The unspoken demand to mirror the crowd's energy, to pretend the chaos is enjoyable, to drink past comfort levels, to feign interest in stranger stories, to dance when they'd rather just observe. It becomes a draining performance. They may attend occasionally, out of curiosity or social obligation, but you'll find them pressed against the least crowded wall, sipping a single drink slowly, mentally calculating escape routes. Their ideal night out looks different. Maybe a cozy speakeasy with live jazz, where the music enriches conversation instead of drowning it, or a rooftop gathering with friends where city lights provide a calmer backdrop than any DJ could offer. 2. Amusement parks, where chaos overshadows thrills. Amusement parks are marketed as joy factories. They promise adrenaline-pumping rides, carnival games with absurdly oversized plush prizes, and dazzling parades with costumed dancers grooving to pop anthems. The air is thick with the scent of cotton candy, popcorn, sunscreen, and sweat. For many, the sensory overload is part of the fun, a fair trade for a brief thrill on a roller coaster. But for the Sigma male, the experience is far less enchanting. To them, amusement parks feel like a full frontal assault on the senses. The long lines, zigzagging through switchbacks and putting them shoulder to shoulder with noisy strangers, are physically and mentally taxing. The ambient soundtrack of shrieking kids, repetitive pop songs blaring from hidden speakers, and the mechanical roar of rides punctuated by pre-recorded sound effects only adds to the discomfort. Even the visual elements, the oversized animatronic characters with fixed plastic smiles and overly branded theme zones, feel disingenuous and commercial. Sigma males don't dislike fun. Many enjoy activities like rock climbing, solo travel, or backcountry hiking, experiences that offer challenge, risk, and solitude. But amusement parks demand a kind of surrender to chaos that they instinctively resist. If they do visit, their approach is surgical. They'll time their visit for the off-season, book fast passes in advance, and map out an exit strategy before they even enter. They might ride one signature roller coaster, find a quiet bench near a fountain to decompress, and then leave long before the fireworks begin. For them, it's about sampling the experience, not being consumed by it. 3. Black Friday, the Sigma male strategic disengagement from consumerist hysteria. Black Friday isn't just a shopping event. It's a full-blown cultural spectacle that puts humanity's most primal instincts on display, cloaked in the seductive glitter of capitalism. The long lines curling around superstores before sunrise, the viral clips of adults physically grappling over discounted TVs, the suspension of basic social etiquette in the name of deals, all adds up to a grotesque carnival of manufactured scarcity and desperation. For the average consumer, Black Friday offers an adrenaline rush. The thrill of the hunt, the satisfaction of scoring a deal, the subtle social validation that comes with visible consumption. But to the Sigma male, the entire display is more a subject of detached, anthropological curiosity than desire. While others get caught up in the frenzy, he calmly observes the mechanisms at play. Psychological tactics like countdown timers and artificial scarcity, manipulative product placement designed to create chaos, and doorbuster deals that are rarely as exceptional as they appear. Instead of rushing into the madness, Sigma males practice what economists might call temporal arbitrage, leveraging timing to gain maximum value with minimum stress. They know that the best deals often come during retail lulls, January clearances, midsummer inventory shifts, and use tools like Camel or Honey to track genuine price drops rather than emotionally driven markdowns. They understand product cycles, knowing exactly when last year's model quietly gets reduced, and they often buy through liquidation sources, scoring identical items at a fraction of retail. For them, peace of mind is more valuable than marginal savings. The stress, noise, and forced urgency of Black Friday simply aren't worth it. But this isn't just about smarter shopping. It's a deeper philosophical rejection of herd mentality. Sigma males disengage from performative consumerism, refusing to buy things just to signal status or fulfill some imaginary checklist. They avoid FOMO-fueled purchases and shun tribal consumption habits. Their approach to ownership is intentional and enduring. They prefer buy once, buy well, and use item for years. They value quality, repairability, and timelessness over trendiness. In a culture that equates frenzied buying with celebration, the Sigma male's ability to sit quietly on the sidelines, content with what he has and secure, and not needing to prove it, is a powerful form of personal rebellion. For the tyranny of perpetual documentation, why Sigma males refuse to perform for camera. In today's hyperconnected world, smartphones have become prosthetic memories, outsourcing the act of remembering to a device. Everywhere you go, experiences aren't just lived, they're captured, filtered, and shared. A sunset isn't just appreciated, it becomes a story. A meal isn't just savored, it must be reviewed for TikTok. A concert isn't fully heard, it's viewed through dozens of raised screens. What once were private, sensory-rich moments are now opportunities for content creation. Friends pause conversations for selfies. Hikers stop for the perfect angle. Even first dates morph into covert photo shoots. To the Sigma male, this is more than annoying. It's a betrayal of real life. Where most people think, this will get great engagement, the Sigma wonders, what am I losing by leaving this moment? Sigma males recognize how this compulsive documentation hijacks attention and erodes memory, rather than fully absorbing the moment. People focus on how it will be presented later. The result? A generation more connected to their highlight reels than to their lived experiences. Psychologically, research supports the Sigma's instincts. Studies show that episodic memory, created through full sensory immersion, forms richer neural pathways and memories tied to digital artifacts. In other words, taking a photo can actually lessen how well you remember the moment. This is why Sigma males resist the urge to perform for the camera. They don't see life as something to stage or display. While others line up for the same Instagram photo at a tourist trap, the Sigma watches with quiet amusement. They see the social personas built for likes and the relationships maintained for mutual content benefits, and they can't help but wonder, if everything is curated for strangers, who's really living the life behind the lens? In rejecting the need to document, Sigma males reclaim their privacy, their presence, and their authenticity. They focus on the depth of the moment, not its shareability. And in doing so, they develop stronger memories, deeper connections, and a life lived for experience, not exhibition. 5. Instagram dining. The Sigma male's culinary rebellion against performative consumption. The modern dining scene has evolved into a kind of theater where food takes a backseat to visual spectacle. Viral restaurants no longer just serve meals. They stage experiences optimized for online attention. You'll find lighting designed not for ambience or comfort, but for maximum photo quality, either glaringly bright or suspiciously moody. Menus are filled with pretentious phrases like reimagined, deconstructed, or unexpected pairing. More marketing than substance. The music is loud enough to kill conversation, yet most patrons sit silently scrolling through their phones. And the food? Signature dishes exist less to be tasted and more to be photographed. Think dry ice fog, gold leaf dust, and over-engineered plating that collapses after the first bite. To the Sigma male, these are red flags. They approach restaurants with a critical eye and a simple set of criteria. Any place that demands a wait longer than 15 minutes immediately triggers skepticism. No dish is worth sacrificing time and sanity. If the staff can't describe a dish without sounding like a marketing brochure, that's another strike. A Sigma male will also quietly judge based on the leftover principle. If a meal isn't good enough to take home, it probably wasn't worth ordering in the first place. And perhaps most tellingly, the state of the restroom often reveals where restaurant priorities lie. Superficial glamour over functional substance. In contrast, Sigma males gravitate toward establishments that prioritize substance over style. They favor neighborhood bistros where the chef knows their name, family-run ethnic spots where recipes are sacred, and quiet wine bars where sommeliers care more about pairings than clout. In these places, dining returns to its original purpose, nourishment and connection. The food is memorable not because it was filtered for Instagram, but because it satisfied the senses and sparked genuine conversation. Here, there are no phones hovering over plates, no pressure to perform, just the quiet joy of a meal well made and a moment well lived. This culinary philosophy mirrors the Sigma male's larger worldview. Popularity is not a proxy for quality, and true satisfaction is rarely found in what the crowd chases. While others wait weeks for a trendy reservation and brag about their social media-worthy meals, the Sigma male walks into his favorite unassuming hole in the wall, receives a warm nod from the owner, and enjoys food that needs no filter. 6. The paradox of adult birthdays. Why Sigma males reject performative milestones. Birthdays in childhood exist in a realm of innocent, unfiltered joy. They're filled with laughter, messy crafts, and crumpled clues in backyard treasure hunts. There's frosting on cheeks, unstructured fun, and zero regard for how it might look on social media. But as we age, something quietly shifts. Somewhere between adolescence and adulthood, birthdays morph from authentic celebrations into elaborately choreographed performances. Suddenly, themed decorations must match a Pinterest board. Professional photographers are hired to capture candid moments that are anything but. Guest lists swell with social obligations rather than people who genuinely matter. The focus drifts away from joy and lands squarely on optics. To the Sigma male, this evolution reveals society's unease with both aging and self-worth. Adult birthdays increasingly become subtle status showcases. The number of guests becomes a metric of popularity. The venue becomes a signal of taste. The volume and luxury of gift are treated as indicators of success. Sigma males look on with quiet detachment as people exhaust themselves playing host of their own celebration, acting less like the honored guest and more like an unpaid event coordinator. These birthday productions often evolve into ritualized exchanges of scented candles and generic liquor bottles, gestures stripped of meaning. Rather than participating in the social theater, Sigma males forge their own rituals, intentional, meaningful, and often solitary. For some, that means a solo hike through the mountains, letting the rising sun take the place of birthday candles. For others, it might be a quiet whiskey tasting with two friends who have known them since childhood, where no one feels a need to perform. Many choose to unplug from technology for the day, using the time to reflect, journal, or set new personal goals. For them, a handwritten letter from a mentor outweighs 100 Facebook notifications. Learning a new piano piece in solitude is more fulfilling than a noisy night at a crowded bar. This is an antisocial behavior. It's a reframing of what celebration should be. Sigma males don't reject birthdays. They reclaim them. To them, a birthday is not a stage but a marker of growth, best honored through genuine connection, quiet reflection, and intentional living. 7. Mandated merriment. The Sigma male survival guide to corporate fun. In the modern workplace, a strange phenomenon has taken root: mandatory fun. Under the guise of team building, employees are routinely subjected to psychological gymnastics in the name of camaraderie. Whether it's building spaghetti towers under HR's watchful eye, shouting out irrelevant fun facts, or enduring icebreakers that disregard all social instincts, these activities rarely generate the intended connection. Instead, they create a theater of forced enthusiasm where everyone plays along, some more convincingly than others. Sigma males immediately recognize the dissonance. They see through performative nature of these events and note a few universal truths. The harder a company pushes an activity as fun, the more draining it becomes. There's a visible hierarchy of fake smiles. The higher up the chain you go, the more pained expressions become. And within every session, you'll find a spectrum of reluctant participants, from the tryhards overcompensating for their discomfort to the silent rebels counting the minutes until escape. But Sigma males don't merely endure. They adapt with precision. Their resistance is subtle, almost imperceptible. They choose seats near exits for easy getaways. They participate just enough to avoid scrutiny, but not a moment more. And mentally, they're elsewhere, perhaps mapping out a business idea, solving a coding problem, or composing a mental outline for a novel. They understand that real workplace bonds form in quiet, unplanned moments. The shared sigh over a jam printer, the impromptu lunch where a genuine problem is solved, the unspoken solidarity of late nights at the office. No amount of forced karaoke or trust falls can replicate the authenticity of those interactions. Ultimately, the Sigma male comes to a clear realization. These activities exist less to build culture and more to give HR something to put in the annual report. While others go through the motions, Sigma males protect their emotional bandwidth for what truly matters. They invest in select relationships and reserve their energy for work that has meaning. And sometimes, in a world obsessed with performative participation, the most revolutionary act is simply not showing up to the show. 8. Digital overstimulation. Why Sigma males opt out of group chat circus. In the era of perpetual digital connection, group chats have become the emotional equivalent of a packed subway car, loud, chaotic, and impossible to escape. Smartphones buzz relentlessly with updates, reminders, and memes. Messages pour in without context. Inside jokes are recycled to the point of exhaustion. Obligatory Happy Thursday, posts floating like confetti no one asked for. To the Sigma male, this isn't connectivity. It's psychological noise. What others accept as casual chatter, he sees as micro-distractions chipping away at focus, clarity, and peace of mind. Sigma males understand the deeper issue. Group chats are less about communication and more about performance. There's an unspoken pressure to stay engaged, to respond quickly, to contribute something, anything, that keeps the digital energy flowing. But in trying to maintain this constant presence, Individuals sacrifice the very attention that makes real communication meaningful. From this perspective, the Sigma male watches with bemused attachment as group chats spiral into absurdity. Entire wars are fought with reaction gifs. Dozens of messages are exchanged debating where to eat, only to end up at the same spot as last week. The worst offender? Waking up to 200 unread messages, only to find that none of them contain a single useful thought. To survive this chaos, Sigma males deploy a quiet arsenal of strategies. They mute group chats permanently, checking in weekly on their own terms. They delay responses, sidestepping the trap of real-time expectation. And when a chat grows too large, breaching Dunbar's number, the cognitive limit of meaningful social connections, they simply exit gracefully and without apology. Instead, they cultivate fewer, deeper conversations. One 45-minute call with a longtime friend carries more emotional weight than weeks of scattered emoji exchanges. Quarterly in-person meetups replace endless streams of texts. Even a handwritten letter holds more sincerity than a flood of hearts and thumbs up. The Sigma male sees communication as a hierarchy. Face-to-face interactions offer full presence. Phone calls allow for nuance. Private messages provide thoughtfulness. Group chats? A last resort. By opting out of digital overstimulation, Sigma males preserve what most people unknowingly squander: cognitive bandwidth, emotional clarity, and mental stillness. Their philosophy is simple but radical in the modern age. Not all messages deserve a response, and most group chats are little more than intellectual fast food. Do you resonate with the ideas I shared in this video? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you're interested in more content about Sigma males, explore the other videos on this channel. Thanks for watching.